Are we now on? I got something to say. What's going on?
What's up, y'all? It's Mike Mack, and I got something to say.
I got something to say. That's what's up. Yep. Man, I'm excited to have you on the show, man. How you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling beautiful, feeling blessed.
Man, yeah, I have to have you on the show, man. I call you you're the plug for Boston, man. I always say, man, this guy got it all. He got it all. He got it all right now. He knows everything. He knows everyone. I don't know about everything, but you know just a lot, man. So it's an honor to have you on the show.
Word. Praise God.
So tell everybody who you are, so we know who you are, and we want to know who is Mike Mack.
All right, so my name is Mike Mack, Michael McPherson. Born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts. Boston. Yeah, man, I'm just a dude that loves to connect and plug everybody together in the city. I started a clothing line 7 or 8 years ago called ChurchBoy Clothing, and we just went around and did clothes, and we sold them at different shows and stuff like that. And we're actually really one of the early Christian clothing lines that existed. We wanted to do urban wear and stuff like that. There's a lot of guys that do that now. I think back then we might have been one of the first people that really started doing that sort of thing. And as we were doing it, we realized there weren't even really that many shows. Like, there were no shows in Boston that we could sell at. And just on the East Coast, there weren't too many shows. So we tried to start doing shows that we could, that we started trying to put on shows so that we could fill that void. And it was really hard. There was nobody. There weren't very many fans. There wasn't really a network. And we worked with a couple other guys to try to put shows on. And we slowly grew the crowds from 10 to 20 to 50 to 100. You know what I mean? And now the shows are they're kind of big. They're getting better. I mean, big for us, small for anywhere else in the country, I guess. But they started getting better and started doing better, and moved into making it more like an entertainment label. So it was ChurchBoy Clothing Entertainment, doing more just a conglomerate. And then we started working with all the artists in New England and kind of trying to galvanize them, and that's what we came up with ACE. It was All Christ Everything Unified. Just trying to get all the artists in the area to be on the same page and unified as far as what they're trying to put out and what they're trying to do for the city, and being able to support each other.
So what is ACE? So ACE is ACE All Christ Everything? Yeah, right?
Yeah. ACE stands for All Christ Everything, and like I said, it's just a unifying banner under which all the artists in the city, can lay hold of, and support one another and do events and pray for each other, do all that stuff together, and just recognize each other as Christian artists. So it's not like a group. It's not any specific people necessarily, but it's more like a moniker. It's more like a banner. And that comes from Colossians 1:16 and 17. Which, all things are the Lord's. By Him and through Him, all things are done and created unto His glory. So that's really the scripture that we use to unify each other. And so I would say at this point we're kind of like 20 deep guys who grab hold on that vision.
Most definitely. So it's about 20. How many artists do you think? So it's altogether 20, but how many rap artists do you know about or Christian hip hop artists in New England? Do you know how many? Do you think? Do you?
We kind of put together a list and tried to write down everybody's names. I think we ended up with like 40 artists.
40?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Cool. And then recently, you guys, as far as an ACE, you guys have brought in. Who have you brought in? Tell me about these people.
Concert-wise, we've brought in most recently KB, Stephen Malcolm, who just signed the Word Entertainment. Yeah, he just got signed just recently. We've had Show Baraka, Tragic Hero, Social Club, Truth, Christian Grey, Act Davis, R. Swift, all within like the past just 4 years. We've only been doing shows for 4 years, so we brought all those guys in over the past 4 years.
Quite a bit. And D1 too. I was at that concert.
Yeah, D1.
Same concert.
Yep, R. Swift. Yeah, that was actually R. Swift's second time coming to Boston.
Oh well. And on ChurchBoy Clothing, who's tell me the artist on ChurchBoy Clothing Entertainment.
The artist that I actually manage and consult directly is is more so. It's around like 10 guys. I manage and help with Applejacks, Trini, Domingo Gaiden, David Altener, Vonnie sometimes, Young Girl named Tamara King, New Leaders, Be Free, Ace as a performing conglomerate. I manage those events.
Mm-hmm.
And there's probably one or two more that people are going to be mad at me that I hope aren't listening to the interview. But so that touch with at some point. I mean, I consult everybody really. I don't always try to sign a deal with guys. As much as possible, I just sit down with them and go over their setup and their structure and really try to assist them. So I mean, it's really been Boston's been my heart to really just focus on Boston artists and New England artists. So I've been doing that for as long as I can remember. But now I'm opening up a little bit more and working with some more guys outside of the area, and just doing my best to help.
So out of everyone now, we're not singling out anyone, but this next couple of months, who should we be looking out for in the next couple of months in the Boston area?
The next couple of months, one person I actually forgot, so I'm glad you asked that question. International Show's project will be coming out next month. He's a rapper, producer, engineer, and he's the most talented engineer in Boston, one of the best producers. And he's gonna be putting out a real solo effort. And he actually engineers for a lot of secular artists like Jadakiss and Noriega and stuff like that.
Wow.
And so now he's actually focusing on his own music, and he's gonna be doing a good push for his next project, Becoming 3. That'll be a free and retail project. That's gonna come out February 10th, I believe. You heard it first here. I'm probably not even supposed to release that date, but it's gonna be around that time.
All right. That's
Exclusive. For I got something to say.
Yeah, good. Yeah, exclusive. You heard that. That's okay. So international show. I got to say, I played some music a while back, and thank you for the music hookup, man. Yeah, man, we got a lot of people listening to the music. I heard Lecrae gave a shout out to Ace, didn't he?
Yeah, Ace. Lecrae recognized Ace when we were. He's good. He's friends with Applejack, so Applejack is cool with him. But he's been out to Boston a couple times. I don't know if he's shouted them out on wax on any records or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But most of those guys are pretty. They're aware that Ace exists, and they know that there's a movement in Boston. A lot of them come down to see it, and Applejack has told them what we were trying to do. So a lot of people know what it is. I mean, and it's like there's not a lot of huge artists in Boston. But if you go to a lot of different areas and you say, ChurchBoy Clothing or Ace, a lot of guys don't know that that's Boston at the least.
Okay, cool. So what's the goals for this year?
Goals for this year, I mean, right now I'm trying to push up to 4 or 5 shows. I do a music conference and a youth conference in May. Memorial Day weekend in May, we do probably the biggest, it's the only Christian hip hop conference in Boston. So we'll be doing a lot of artist development in that, and really trying to make sure that we have a resource like that in the Northeast, similar to like a Legacy or a Crossover Churches Flavor Fest, which isn't happening in 2017, I believe. So we're making sure that there's something like that.
You said it's not happening?
So, no, Flavor Fest is supposed to be alternating to do biannually now instead of annually.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't believe right now they don't have it planned to be in 2017. I don't know if demand is gonna bring it back, but right now they're not planning on doing that. So we want to make sure that we have something like that for people, at least in our area, to be able to come out and learn and grow. So we got Doc Watson from RMG, Chris Belmont from Jar Entertainment, Saleki Roman from New York. And so we're bringing a bunch of different guys out to just, do some artist development, some assistance, and we'll do 2 concerts. So we got a bunch of guys coming out for the concerts. Cannon, Daraj, Brandon P, a.k.a. Black Knight Mission.
Yeah.
So it should be some dope shows. A lot of Boston artists will be featured. We'll do some evangelism, reach the streets, and make it a good time.
Well, yeah, I'm really happy to hear that, man. I think that where Christian hip hop was, especially when I got here, coming from, where I came from to here, I was like, man, I didn't see any. I'm like, man, I don't, like, usually, in Virginia, you hear about Christian concerts or, something, hip hop, whatever. I came here and it was like scared. I didn't really expect to hear anything. Then I ran into you guys. Like, man, I see you guys moving, man. So it's exciting just to see that, and, just to be connected, to see this really picking up,
It's tough. I mean, you even see, like, during the winter, we can't even really do shows. So there's always kind of like a dead zone. Like, I personally, I refuse to promote anything after December. You know what I mean? And then December is tough because it's Christmas. So December, January, February, we can't really do stuff because we don't know when there's going to be a blizzard or, you know what I mean? And artists from down south, we bring our artists from down south up to Boston to do a show in January. They mess around and get sick.
I know.
So, you know what I mean? So we can't, we're kind of limited in our ability to do certain stuff. And then the market is small, so we have to spread shows out. So we lose a whole 3-month period, which is, a quarter in the music business. We lose a whole quarter, the whole winter quarter. And then we got to try to jump back in and recreate buzz and everything. So it's a tough area to do stuff in. But right now we're in a good space. It's small, it's intimate. Most of the people, we know each other. And, it's an opportunity to grow. You got to see it as an opportunity, not really as like a deficiency. So that's where we're at right now.
That's good. So individually, personally, where do you stand? What's on your heart? What are you doing right now?
Man, I mean, well, I got a 4-month-old daughter. So right now, my heart is a desire to get sleep. I feel the Lord calling me towards getting some rest. But this is really like a visual time for me, a planning time. Not just because it's the New Year, end of year, but because, like I said, it's a slowdown period where we can't do a lot of stuff. So I spend a lot of this time really planning and mapping out what I'm going to do next year. And so I'm planning the conference. The conference is 90% planned. And then we'll start rolling out promotion for that. Want to do an event in March, the one in May, and then we'll do our Ace Life concert at some point. And, there's a bunch of tours that I'm just juggling, whether or not I can bring them in to Boston. We're trying to figure out if and when dates can work. So, I mean, I'm really just trying to make sure that stuff stays popping over here. And then I'm also a youth pastor in our church, so I'm in charge of my youth ministry, so I mean, there's still developing goals with that, and making sure I'm spiritually aligned at all times, so that I can, make sure I'm doing what's pleasing to God in that. So I mean, it's a lot to do. And I got a day job, so it's just maintaining the balance, making sure that I'm spiritually fit, making sure that I'm still getting sleep, I'm being a good dad, and that I'm executing, for the city and all the guys that kind of depend on me. So right now is a time where I just make sure that I got my ducks lined up in a row, and so when I continue on with the rest of the year, everything is done effectively.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot, man. And you got a daytime job. What do you do with that, if you don't mind?
I'm accounting. I do accounting at Boston University. So I'm in finance and business at Boston University.
This man, he does it all. Like, so it's not on regular job, or this is an actual job. And then you got the job as far as ChurchBoy Clothing or East or whatever. That's a lot, man. Yeah, you gotta have your time for planning, and then you got a 4-month-old baby, and I know how it is, man. My son just turned 1.
Yeah.
I'm just starting to find out what sleep is again.
Yeah, exactly. You're just starting to find out what sleep is. Then you're finding out the whole, the personality of your child, which is kind of a big deal too. They really start moving. You really got to keep an eye on them. Like I could dump my baby in a bassinet and kind of walk away. Yours will escape.
Yeah, actually, true story. Just 2 weeks ago, I run upstairs. I got the kids, and I run upstairs real quick to go get something, and I hear the baby. And I'm like, I left the baby downstairs with the other kids, but I hear the baby upstairs. And my 1-year-old baby climbed up all the stairs and was at my door. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
My wife found out, she was upset. She was hot. What's going on? Why did that happen? And so now we know he knows how to climb the stairs, and he thinks he knows how to do it for real. So he'll go at it every single time.
Yeah, that's what they do. That's what they love. They love the stairs. I'm in a 3-story now. It's our home. My first daughter wasn't, doing all that stuff when we first moved in here, but this one is going to have a lot of adventures.